Hey everybody, hope you're having a great day. Well, as promised, I wanted to do that body weight only workout. This one might be a little bit tougher than with dumbbell. You know, when you're using body weight, the trick is you've really got to know how to modify. And so what I'll do is, hello, good to see you. What I'll do is start off by showing what we'll do is we'll do 3 sets of 3 exercises. And do that little circuit, and then we'll do that, do 3 sets of that group, then 3 sets of 3 more, and then 3 sets of 3 more. So we've got a total of 9 exercises, and for the first 3, I'll kind of describe them to you first, show you some modifications, and then we'll do them, and then do that for the second go round. So let me get some music on here. Hey Janie, hey Billy. All right. So get some music on, and got Shirley keeping me accountable today. So let's get warmed up first of all. I'm gonna stand back here. I've got the camera a little low today because, I'd say that 60% of what I'm doing is on the ground. Let's start off with that Tai Chi twist. Let the arms hit you in the body. Good, and let's go right into some butt kickers there. See if you can connect those two. Alright, and we'll go right into, messed it up, right into some high knees. Alright, still twisting the torso. Feeling the obliques, feeling the serratus muscles. The sides of the abdomen. Good. Let's do some arm circles. Locking the arms fairly straight. Trying to keep the shoulders down here. Alright, so don't need any equipment. For one of the exercises, if you've got some work to do on your balance like myself, you might grab a chair. I'm probably going to. Nobody wants to break a leg on when it's being recorded. Alright, let's do some hamstring, little ballistic stretches here. I like doing stretching out the chest first. That's going to help you keep the back flat in these ballistic stretches. They're good before you work out, but if you don't know what you're doing, you do have some potential to hurt your low back here, so I like to lock those shoulders back and keeping the low back safe there. Good. All right, let's do some squats. Feet are straight like train tracks. Shoulders are back. Moving the butt back. Push that box behind you. 7, 8, 9, and 10. Very good. Okay, so to start off with, we've got jump squats. If you don't want to do jump squats, a good alternative would be a wall sit. And we're going to do 30 seconds. You can always up that to 45, but to start off with, let's do these. Since you're at home on soft carpet too, it's a good place to practice them. If you do the jump squats, you want to land softly. You don't have to jump high even. Just getting those toes up off the ground. Heels come down. All right. Good. And like I said, if you don't want to do this one, you can always do the wall sit as an alternative. All right. Pace yourself. Make sure you're still getting the butt back. 10 more seconds. Make sure the heels are down on the ground. And good. Okay. That's enough for the legs. Let's get to the ground. I meant to describe those all to you first, but I didn't. So let me do that real quick for the next 2. We've got elbow plank reach. Oh, this is a great one. I want to be on my elbows. And I'm going to spread the feet, and I can either be on the feet or I can drop to the knees. And all I'm going to do here is reach. Then the other one, reach. 3, 4, trying to keep my hips still. 9, 10. Let's go all the way to 20. Make sure you're breathing. And good. Oh boy. All right. Last one in this circuit is a single leg glute bridge. Try it down a little bit. Thank you. For the single leg glute bridge, I've got one leg up, other foot here. Make sure your heel is down. Not sure how good you can see that. You definitely want the heel on the ground and bridging up like that. Trying to get the hips up off the ground, but when I come back down, I don't want them to touch. Almost, but not quite. 6. If you want to do both legs together like this, you can. Just do twice as many. 11, and good. So like I said, if you're doing both legs together, just do the same thing again, both legs down, and let's do the other side. 1, 2, 3. Remember, don't touch the hips down to the ground. 10, 11, and 12. Ooh, this is a good first round. Those jump squats always do that. They are what they are, the jump squats, you know. They're always going to get your heart rate going. And sometimes when you don't have weights, that is important because we need to keep that intensity up. We can do that without the speed with weights. Speaking of keeping that intensity up, let's go. And good. Should probably start the timer first. All right. We got about 10 seconds left. Now, of course, as you get better at these, and time. As you get better, you can start jumping higher. But you need to learn how to pace yourself because they get ugly. All right, going right to our planks now. Remember to spread those feet or knees, whichever one you're doing. Make sure your butt's down and reach. Remember, the less you move your hips, the harder it's going to be. Make sure you're breathing. 17, 18, and 20. Oh, those are rough. And that same exercise on the hands isn't as hard. I guess just, I don't know why it's harder, but it is. Okay, so maybe less room to swing your arms around and get momentum. Catch my breath here. All right, let's do these single leg glute bridges. One leg up, really squeeze that quad to keep the leg straight and drive the heel into the ground. Remember not to touch the hips back down. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and 12. Good. Pay attention to what your back's doing. Seeing if you're trying to drive the elbows into the ground. You know, a little bit of that's good for support, but it's easy to overdo. Let's do the other side. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 8, 9, 10, 11, and 12. Good. Remember on that one, the most important thing is to have the heel down. You can have the toe up or down, that's up to you. There's advantages to both. But most importantly, have that heel down. And the second most important thing is not to touch the hips down to the ground. Everything else is just kind of form and style and everything. All right, we got one more go round. Catch my breath here, and we'll do those jump squats again with the timer started first. Oh, like I said, if you're not doing the jump squats, go ahead to the wall, doing that wall sit, trying to get the quads at a horizontal angle there, and go for it. Come on, 5 more seconds. All right, that's the jump squats, thank goodness. Good, so we got 20 of this plank to do. Remember to put the knees down if planks are tougher for you. And if you still have a hard time, just hold the plank. That's a good exercise as well. Just do the right modification for your skill level is really the trick of these. All right. Get ready and go for it. 1, spread the feet. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 15, 16, 17, 18, and 20. Ooh, boy. All right, that's good stuff. Really kept my focus on it that time. Wonder if the counting helped. I noticed that I did my counting straight through too. Wonder if that's connected, maybe. Hang on, that'll cost me an oxygen. Give me a sec. Shirley's laughing at me over there. All right. Leg up straight. Squeeze the quad. And drive that heel into the ground. Go for it. 2, 3. Get those hips up high at the top. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. All right. One side down. All right, other one. Squeeze the quad, straighten the leg, and drive the heel. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Whew. Okay. First circuit down. Let me go get some water and I'll come back and tell you about the second one. Whew. Luckily, no jump squats in the second one. Okay. So round 2. Oh man. We've got another plyometric one. Plyometric's a fancy word for jumping. So of course, anytime we have that, I always want to have an alternative because jumping just doesn't agree with some people for a variety of reasons. So the first one I call a half burpee. And what we're doing is getting in a plank position. Let me show you the normal or the full version, and then I'll show you the modification. So I'm starting off in a plank with my hands right under the shoulders, and I just want to jump the toes in as much as I can, and then just jump back. So if you're familiar with burpees, I'm just doing that first part of the burpee, which I notice a lot of people have a hard time with. However, here's the catch. Your feet need to stay together. If you're doing one foot off and you kind of hear a did, your feet hitting at different times, you're doing a bad trick that your body does, and you need to stop it. So the way we do that is take smaller jumps. You want to make sure to keep your feet together. And even if you're only doing this, that's fine if that's what you need to do. So let's go ahead and try them. We'll do 30 seconds. Oh, all right. And go for it. Oh, wait, hang on. Still, no, don't yet. I didn't show modification. Modification, sorry, is just walk in. So, same idea, just doing 1 foot at a time. So like I said, if you can handle the plyometrics, I definitely recommend the jumping version. If not, go to that walking one. So let's try that again. And go for it. When you jump back, try to keep that plank solid. Don't let the hips sag down, but jump all the way back. All right, that's 30 seconds. Another good option on that one too is if you start off with the jumps, and I was about to do it anyway without even telling you, and you start to get so tired that, you know, it's time to quit, whether for safety reasons or just because you're too miserable, then go to a walk. That way you can keep the intensity up and not talk between all your exercises. Just kidding. All right, next one we've got is alternating lunge with a twist. One more stretch. Yeah, let's go ahead and do that. So for this one, I'm standing back here so you can see me. I want the arms up. They're just kind of in like that, palms facing each other. And I want to do a forward lunge, but I want to turn into my knee, into the knee, which is probably not the way you think. And then pop back. Let's do the other side. Good. And 3. I want to keep my arms up straight and just rotate through the torso. Let's do 4 more. There's 1, 2. Take small steps and make sure you're pushing the hips back still. Good. All right. And that's really easy to do with lunges. I notice that people lunge too far, and that's not necessarily wrong, but it makes it harder for you to push the hips back, particularly if you're not really good at doing that anyway. All right, so our last one here are fire hydrants. Haha. Good little exercise. I do them all the time. Standing, seated, bent over on a chair. Okay, but today I'm pretty tired, so let's stay here. And get on all fours here. I want to bring the knee directly to out laterally. I don't want to do any rotating. And I always mention to people, I'm always surprised at how much work the stationary leg has to do here. 8, 9, 10. Trying to keep the hips fairly flat. They're going to turn a little bit. 12. Good. Let's do the other side. But we want to try to keep them as flat as we can. Just use that glute on the moving side. And think about your back here, making sure it's nice and flat. And 12. And if you're like me, I know I have a tendency to look down at my knees, which is a terrible habit because it rounds out the spine. So I always pick a spot just a few feet in front of me, maybe, you know, in this case, maybe just a foot in front of me. Kind of helps keep the head straight. All right. So back to the lunges, which are better than jump squats. But you don't like the jumps? You like the jump squats? Oh shoot! Darn it! Funny how you forget the tough stuff. So way your brain works. All right. Let's get ready. Go into those half burpees, whether you're walking or jumping, or doing a little bit of both. And go for it. Landing softly, or trying to. Keeping the chest tight. All right. 2 of those down. Now we'll go do lunges. All right. So, arms up, palms together. And lunge, turning into the knee and back. Twisting through the torso. Whoops. Thinking about too many things at once. And one more. All right, it's a first on that one. Or at least first in a long time. Okay, let's get down on the ground, do those fire hydrants, they're called. All right, get the form and go for it. 3, 4, 5, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and 12. Again, keep that back flattened out. And 1, 2, 8, 9, 10, 11, and 12. All right, 2 rounds down. Hang on just a sec. Let's catch our breath and go back to those burpees one more time, or half burpees. How are we doing? Everybody, hey, leave a comment on there about the plyometrics. I want to hear if anybody tried them, if nobody's even touching them. Just let me know a little bit about that. That'll kind of help steer me, in the right direction. Like I said, when you're just doing body weight, it helps to do some plyometrics, but some people just can't. So let's go ahead and do our last go around here. 30 seconds. I got to set my timer. Can't count these, so I'll count to about 16, and then I think it's 30. And go for it. All right. Oh, don't do your back like that. That was not on purpose. I was pretty tired there. Okay, so done with the burpees. Let's go ahead and stand up. Get that last set of those lunges. I'll talk about that real quick too. What we're doing there, the reason we're turning into the knee is you've got these spiral lines in the body that go from that foot, cross over, and go to the other side, or that's a different one, I'm sorry. The spiral lines go around you. So we're stretching that, but it's a whole chain of muscles. We're not stretching just one muscle. And in particular, when we put the arms up too, we're tightening everything up. So then when we do that lunge, you really feel that chain through the spiral lines. Other side. keep those lunges small if you need to. Also being a little bit explosive when you push out of that lunge. I should have mentioned that at the beginning, but it is what it is. Let's go on to the fire hydrants. Get my form first. So I'm going to pack those shoulders down away from my ears and go for it. Trying to keep the hips square. 3, 4, 5, 6, 8, 9, 10, 11, and 12. Good. Let's do the other side. And 1, 2, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and 12. All right, feeling those glutes work. So next go round. First of all, we have a plank push-up. They're pretty tough. So let me show you. First of all, you can do them on the knees. I'll do it profile here. I'm starting off on the elbows, and then I'm going to push one hand up and then push the other arm up, and then I go back down.
How many?
Well, here's the thing, is that you've got to do both directions, because if you think about it, I'm pushing up with one side each time. So let's do 6 each direction. So I'll tell you which arm to start with. So let's start on the elbows, and start with your left arm, pushing up with the left arm, then the right arm, then go down onto the left arm. Back up to the left arm, and back down on the left arm. That's 3, and 4, 5, and 6. Good. Let's go back the other way now. Right arm. I forgot to mention, of course, you can always do these on your knees. I'll be honest, they feel a little bit weird, but they work well. Pushing up with the right arm, down with the right arm. One more. Whew, apparently it's been a while since I've done those. They got me. Okay, next one here. Let's do a side plank leg lift. Okay, we can do a couple different modifications here. Like any plank, you can always do them with your feet stacked on the top. That's going to be really tough though. So I'd say for most people, if you haven't done these before, try bending that bottom knee. Then I come up into my plank. See the top leg goes straight over to the ground. Bottom knee is bent. And if this is new to you, maybe you just hold that plank. But if you've done these, let's try a leg lift with it. 2. Squeezing the glute here. 4, 5, 6. Maybe putting my hand on the glute, feeling it contract. 8, 9. Since I got a free hand. 11 and 12. Good. Really though, it's this side that needs the help with the muscle activation, not that one. So, excuse me if I pitch my rear end again. Good. So keeping the shoulders back. And that's really the most important thing. None of this hand stuff on the ground, right? Hands on the hip or the butt. And go for it. 1. Darn, that muscle does not behave. 4, 5, there it goes. 6, 8, 9, 10, 11, and 12. All right. Oh boy, we've got my nemesis here, which is hip hinges, I call them. This is a standing one. This is the one I think I'm going to break out the chair, so I don't break any ankles. No, hopefully I won't need a chair, but in case I do, there it is. All right, so all we're doing here, we start with it at least, is I've got my knee up, and then I want to hinge the hips, leaning forward, kicking the leg back. I don't want to turn the hips. I want to keep flat, pointing the toe down to the ground, and then come back up, knee up. All right, there's 2. Want to really feel this leg stabilize, squeezing the glute again. I started on that same glute that I have a hard time with. That's why I knew I was going to need this chair. But he usually falls into place here after a few repetitions. 8, 9, 10, 11, and 12. It's funny too because you'll see at the end, towards the end, I start to lose it again. Have to find it in the beginning, then I find it, and then I lose it again. But we'll get there. We're all works in progress. No, I'm still.
No, you're gonna hit the treadmill behind you.
Oh, yeah. All right. Watch out, do that in class too. All right, ready? So knee up and back. We got a little friend there to help me out for the first couple. 4, 3, or 4. I can tell them how to practice with these. I'm always bad, but not usually this bad. 11 and 12. But honestly, those are the exercises that are going to give you the best, most benefits are the ones that you're really bad at. If it's easy, you can skip it. It's one of my favorite mantras, at least for exercise. So, back to those plank push-ups. I'm going to do this set on my knees so you can see what that looks like too, just in case you're having a hard time. Oh, and one other thing too, if this plank push-up thing just isn't working for you, just do some regular push-ups. You don't have to do them on the ground. Remember, that's going to be harder. You can do the knee thing. It's all right. But I honestly like a kitchen counter is one of the best things. That way if you're up higher, it's going to be a lot easier than if you are down on the ground. So like I said, while you're at home, it's a good thing to work on is those push-ups. But for now, if you can, do the plank push-ups with me. There we go. So my knees are on the ground. My butt is still down. And I like to relax the feet on the ground if you can. It's just kind of good practice. And we'll go for it. And down with the left. Up with the left. Down with the left. And one more. Good. Okay, now with the right. Down with the right. And up with the right. Down with the right. Three more. And good. All right. 2 of those down. What was my other one? Hip hinge and a leg lifts. Of course, leg lifts. So, again, we're going to go to the side plank. And please do keep in mind that the side plank is the important thing here. The leg lift, honestly, just kind of giving us something extra to do. And if you can lift that leg, then the body's stable. But you got to learn how to make the core stable first. And I can guarantee you that if your hand's over this way, it's not. 4. You want that chest up tall. We're very proud in exercise. One more. Good. All right, one side down. Getting rug burn, careful. You want to come over here?
Yeah.
Shirley, I guess, was not camera ready today. All right, chest up tall and leg. 1, 2, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 11, and 12. Good. All right, back up for those hip hinges. All right, and remember the ways we want to adjust our difficulty by having that chair. Maybe you use a whole hand, maybe you use 2 fingers, maybe you use 1 finger. Maybe you kind of go back and forth. And the other thing we can do is not kick back so far. You know, if I'm kicking back all the way like that each time, you know, if I'm not really capable of that, if I try to do that every time, it's not really going to get me anywhere. Whereas if I kick to about there, at least I have a chance. Good. Getting tired. 9, 10, 11, and 12. And you would think that I would pick a different exercise to upload than one that's difficult, but I'm kind of trying to illustrate a point that those are the ones you want to work on. That's why you really have to leave your ego at home, because, you know, if it's easy, it's really not that important. So, you know, that's my job, is to pick out people's weak spots, including my own, when you guys aren't there to do it for me. Notice I did put it at the end though. 9, 11, and 12. Okay, I can tell I'm way out of practice on those, darn. Okay, we've got one more go round. We can do this, those plank push-ups on your knees, on your feet, or on a kitchen counter, just doing regular push-ups. And try to keep in mind too the elbow. I mean, it's kind of hard to think about here, but you always want that 45 degrees between the body and the arm there, ideally. There's a lot going on here though, so just keep it in mind. Hands are right underneath the shoulder, feet are spread, nice flat torso, and starting with the left side down first, right side down, left side up, right side up. Down left, up left. 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. All right, that's halfway. Let's go down with the right side.
I think we're only doing 6 on each side.
I'm going to change it to 8 up to the second side. Thanks for pointing out though. 6, 7, and 8. Thank you. I guess I still had a little gas in the tank. All right. Catch my breath though. Side plank, leg left. 12 more on each side. And 12. Good. You can see as my body starts running out of energy, I do a lot less talking. All right. Need all that oxygen. All right. Chest is up, elbow down, and keep the legs straight. I caught myself bending there a little bit. Two more. And 12. All right. All the ground stuff is done. Let's do our last 2 sets up here. Drop my trusty chair. All right. And got my knee up. And kicking back, leaning forward, nice flat back. All the way from my heel to my head once I get to the back position there. And wow. All right. One more set to go and we will stretch out. And one, and one more. Good. All right. We made it. Let's go ahead and stretch out the triceps. I'm going to kneel down so you guys can see me there. Bending at the elbow, pulling the shoulder blades back. Chest is up tall, looking straight ahead. All right. And other side. Keep going, next music. I think I'm 5 minutes ahead of schedule. All right. Good. Let's put the shoulders down away from the ears, locking the arms straight, pulling across the body, stretching the shoulder and maybe the front and the back of the shoulder, the front of the deltoid. Let's go to the next one. You should be able to. Oh, it's not a big deal. It's fun. There we go. All right. Other side, locking the arms straight. Thank you, sweetie. All right. Bring the hands behind the back. Bring the elbows forward. Gently. Stretching the rotator cuff there. At least one portion of it. All right, let's bend the hand back, making a stop sign, locking out the arm again, and including the thumb for a little extra stretch there. All right, other side. All right, very good. Let's stand up. Let's do some hamstrings here, crossing one leg over the other. Let's do that chest stretch again, locking the arms behind the body. That's going to help keep our spine straight as we bend forward, stretching the hamstring. All right, good. Standing back up, reaching up above the head. Feeling that all through the lateral muscle chain there. Good. Let's do the quadricep on this side too. Point it down to the ground, pushing the hips forward. Pulling the knee back a little. Stretching the hip flexor here as well as the quad. All right, let's go to the other side and finish this workout up. So what was that doing? Hamstrings. Crossing one leg over the other. And, right. Yeah. All right, arms behind the back, locking the arms out. Nice flat back there, pushing the hips back. Chest should feel tall, and maybe looking a few feet in front of you. Keeping the shoulders away from the ears. Standing back up, grabbing onto your chair, reaching up and over. Keeping the chest up here. Feeling that stretch through the lateral chain there. Good. Let's grab that foot again. Pushing the hips forward, pointing the knee down to the ground. That'll start to stretch the quad there. And after it loosens up a bit, then pull the knee back. Push the hips forward. Still nice and tall. All right. That is going to do us for today. I hope you had a great workout. I will see everybody back tomorrow for the normal strength and level 1 strength. Have a great rest of your night, and I'll see you soon.